Earth has been hit by asteroids, collided with other planets, and frozen over multiple times in the last few billion years. Not to mention living under the control of various bizarre life forms. It's a marvel our blue homeworld has survived at all at times. But we will have to start very early if we wish to take a quick trip through the history of our planet. Our solar system started to form about 4.5 billion years ago, when it was still a dense cloud of interstellar gas and dust. When this cloud collapsed, it created a whirling disk of matter that heated up until hydrogen fused with helium, and our sun was born, just like that. Additionally, a baby Earth was on its way. All of the material at the outermost points of the rotating disk started to group together following the formation of our star. These clusters would be the beginning of our solar system's planets and moons. They became larger and more spherical as they gathered more substance. Earth and Mars are examples of inner planets produced by all the rocky material closer to the Sun. Volcanically speaking, this young Earth was highly active. It ejected carbon dioxide, methane, and hydrogen sulfide, among other gases. The initial atmosphere of our planet was composed of these gases. Large comets and asteroids continuously attacked early Earth, and not too long after, Earth was hit by an even more powerful collision. Mars-sized planet Theia collided head-on with our infant planet. After this tremendous collision, fragments of substance were thrown across Earth's orbit, whereupon gravity brought them together to form the Moon as we know it today. Oceans did not exist on this scorching, primitive Earth. Water was once only a gas. However, our planet cooled down sufficiently 3.8 billion years ago for water to condense and turn into liquid. This infant Earth was covered by the first primordial ocean, which created a water world. Water is a necessary component for the creation of life. That means that life first emerged on Earth 3.7 billion years ago, along with all that water. These minuscule organisms were the earliest known manifestations of life. However, some of these organisms altered the trajectory of the world about 1 billion years later. 3.3 billion years ago. However, Earth was not a water world for very long. The primeval water soon gave way to the earliest continents. Their scientific name is cratons. The planet's first supercontinent emerged as land began to rise from the water. Valbara was not a supercontinent by any means. It was not very big. According to scientists, it was not as big as Australia's continent. 2.4 billion years ago. The first photosynthesizers on Earth originated from cyanobacteria, which underwent evolution about 2.4 billion years ago. Ultimately, we had some oxygen producers to greatly increase the hospitability of Earth's atmosphere. Folks, the rest is history. I'm kidding. There is still much work ahead of us. The Earth's atmosphere had far less carbon dioxide because of all this additional oxygen, and that was why the planet was freezing. As Earth experienced its first ice age, a large portion of our young planet froze. There were places when glaciers reached the equator. 1.1 billion years ago. In parallel with the shifting Earth's atmosphere, the continents were also shifting. They split apart and then came back together to form Rodinia, the next supercontinent. In reality, Rodinia was a supercontinent. It was possibly the largest supercontinent to have ever occupied the Earth. An existence? All right, life started to get more complicated. However, something else transpired. During Rodinia's breakup, a new supercontinent formed. Pannotia was the name of this one. Then, there was a sudden explosion of new life between 540 and 485 million years ago. It was dubbed the Cambrian explosion this time. Additionally, during this time, Animals evolved with hard body components like spines or shells. The trilobites that resembled aliens were the most well-known of all. The climate abruptly changed 440 million years ago, causing a significant shift in ocean temperature. The first, a worldwide extinction event, occurred on Earth. This was the extinction of the Ordovician Silurian, and most of the life that had been multiplying across the Earth disappeared. Numerous of these organisms established the basis for the ecosystems that currently exist on Earth. The earliest trees appeared on Earth between 420 and 350 million years ago. Additionally, the first animals touched down. Our world was covered by our last great supercontinent 250 million years ago, Pangaea. Unfortunately, this was also the time that Earth saw the biggest mass extinction event ever recorded, the Great Passage. 90% of all species on Earth have been wiped out by massive levels of greenhouse gases and increased global warming. However, this massive extinction aided in the evolution of the following generation of animals. 230 million years ago marked the emergence of the first dinosaurs. Over the ensuing 150 million years, they would govern the region. The largest land animal ever, the enormous sauropod Argentinosaurus, would have been visible to you if you had been present. Alternatively, the T-Rex, one of the biggest apex predators on Earth, may have pursued you. Additionally, you would see Pangaea fragment and give rise to the modern continents. Perhaps you already see where this is going. Where Mexico is now, an asteroid struck our planet 66 million years ago. It obscured the sun with so much material that it coughed up into the atmosphere. Due to the catastrophic climate changes that resulted from this, the dinosaurs went extinct. Mammals proliferated in the subsequent wave of developing creatures. The oldest known Sahelanthropus walked our Earth about 6 million years ago. Even yet, they probably continued to walk on all fours. Early humans started to walk upright about 4 million years ago. They would also create the earliest known tools, which they used to break things, some million years later. Something ignited about 800,000 years ago. After learning how to manage fire, these people were able to prepare meals and stay warm. Their brains were still evolving, but they were doing it much faster today. These people picked up completely new methods of interacting with the environment and with each other. All other extinct human species vanished between 40,000 and 15,000 years ago, with the exception of Homo sapiens. Farming began on Earth 10,000 years ago. These formerly globe-trotting humans eventually established roots and stopped roaming the Earth. Let's fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, which began roughly 250 years ago. We saw significant changes in socio-economics, technology, and culture. Farm-based, rural communities gave way to increasingly industrialized metropolitan ones. Coal, followed by oil and natural gas, was the primary force behind all of this change as it marked the start of humankind's massive emissions of pollutants like carbon dioxide into the environment. The number of people on Earth kept increasing. We attained 1 billion by 1804. We would reach 2 billion by 1927. Additionally, since the 1960s, the world's population has increased at an increasingly rapid rate, reaching over 8 billion people today. And now, many other kinds of life on Earth as well as human survival are in danger from a new source: Changes in climate, sea levels and temperatures.